Welcome back to the Postgame Show, presented by the Maroon Club, enhancing 23 Division I sports. Join the Maroon Club today, and our player of the game, presented by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of life. Here's Gabby with head coach and Abby Antignoli.
Yeah, guys, so we just talked about it. You guys are never out of these games. What are your takeaways?
The takeaways are that our youth shows up sometimes in critical moments, and it's our job as the staff to get them more prepared for those moments, whether it be defensive stops or whether it be executing on offense. And I just thought that there were a couple critical possessions on both sides that we really didn't finish it the way that we needed to, and that gave them just a slither of separation, and that's all a pretty experienced team like that needs.
We talked about energy this entire season. They brought it in the first half and in the second half. Are you happy with what you saw, what you got from your team?
Yeah, I didn't think it was an energy issue. I thought it was some execution issue. So that's something that we can correct and something that we can fix. We just have to keep going back to the drawing board and making sure everybody's on the same page.
And Abby Antignoli, obviously she had a great game, but you saw Emma Shields, Haley Smith, they all lit up the court. What are your takeaways from those girls?
Well, I think we're starting to wake up a little bit. For a lot of games, it's been a Batman and Robin kind of a show, and the rest of our kids, it's taken them a little bit to find their rhythm. So, I thought Haley started to wake up a little bit more in the Monmouth game, and it's good to see her carry over into this game. And even for Emma, I think for her, she didn't kind of have the game she wanted to have versus Monmouth, and to see her bounce back, I think is really good. And I think, like I keep saying, I think we're a team that's by committee, and I think having 4 people in double figures tonight is very encouraging. Now we need to continue to build on that. I think we have the room to have about 5 people in double figures, and then the next couple about 8, 7, things like that. That's the team that we are built to be, and we have to get to that.
Now you're home for the next 2 games, and that must be encouraging to see. Home field advantage is always good.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. To be home and not travel is always good, especially this time of year as we're wrapping up the last week of classes, going into finals.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
We're going to bring over Abby. Thanks, Abby, just making sure this was on, and you can hear it. Abby, 19 points, 10 rebounds from you today. You lit up the court. What were your takeaways from your game today?
First double-double ever off of rebounds as a 5'6" point guard. I'll take it, but I thought I brought some energy today, and I found my teammates a lot, which is great. Key shooters like Sato were hitting and knocking down shots. It just came down to a couple last-second possessions on defense, honestly. Yeah,
I was just talking to your coach. You guys are never out of these games. We saw it with, Notre Dame and a couple other games this season. You guys are never out of it. How do you finish?
I think it's experience. Like, we're kind of a young team right now, so we're getting in these positions, and the more we play, the more confidence we will have in the end of the games. And it's only a non-conference right now, so I'm confident when conference play comes, we'll be ready.
You just said, you guys are obviously a young team. So what do you do to try and encourage your teammates to try and, like you just said, finish and maybe just give them some encouragement and try to win some of these games?
Yeah, it's all about energy and effort, and I think we have that. I just think, it's decision-making, finding the right shots at the right time in the right people's hands, especially late. So it'll come. It definitely will be there.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks. Back to you guys.
Very much as we take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's game, and then we'll wrap it up. A lot of double-figure scorers tonight. Here are the highlights. Here's John.
Gary, this was a well-played game. Again, we talked a little bit about how it was a cold and slow start. Neither team really getting going. There you see Ava Renninger was just as dynamic as you'd expect. Lafayette, Abby Antignoli, a double-double. How about a 5'6" point guard getting 10 rebounds? But sometimes rebounding is more about want to and quickness. Emma Shields, you heard Coach Kia Damon Olson talk about her emergence. Lafayette's going to need to keep her playing well if they're going to make any noise. There is Gabori on the layup, and then Haley Smith came to life. She's been too quiet. You heard Lafayette coaches talk about the need for this team to be more versatile, to get more people involved. It really has been the Abby Antignoli show, and they got contributions from a lot of different people today. Obviously, Abby leading the way with 19 points. But, Gary, sometimes you got to tip your cap. This FDU team was a very good team. Look at the pick and roll here. Nicely done by Emma Shields from Abby. Boy, she had a handful of assists as well. Lafayette turned the ball over only twice in the entire second half. There you see the pull-up jump shot by Renninger. And she really is the reason. She's the catalyst for this basketball team. Only a freshman, and coming off a state championship at Archbishop Wood in suburban Philadelphia. I love what Park brings to this basketball team as well. She seemed to hit a lot of key shots down the stretch. Here's the fine Kiewit in the corner, another assist from Abby Antignoli, and I like the way she got everybody involved as well. Here's a little step back. Every time Lafayette needed a big bucket, it was Abby who seemed to come through. And in transition right here, took one early in the shot clock. We talked about how strong this team is, and Tanisha Brown on the inside was a dominant force as well. But we talked about how good a team FDU is, and Lafayette went toe-to-toe with them. And you can look for all kinds of reasons why they may have lost this game. Sometimes it has a lot more to do with the quality of your opponent. This was a very hard-fought, very competitive game, and I think that gives Lafayette something to take with them as they near Patriot League play.
And as you look at the team numbers, some individual numbers too. Tanisha Brown with 15, Lily Park with 15, 11 for Abigail Babore, but their leading scorer, as expected, was Ava Renninger. She got 19, 17 in the second half, so a terrific second half for her. For Lafayette, 19 points and 10 rebounds, as Abby alluded to, her first double-double in her career. For her to get 10 rebounds is a monumental task. 13 points for Sauda Najanayagizi and 10 points for Emma Shields, and Lafayette goes down to defeat in this one, 69-62.
Gary, the one statistic that I did not mention that I think was a key factor, 15 offensive rebounds for FDU, and they out-rebounded Lafayette. They did that, but not as much as on the offensive boards, and that was a critical factor in this game.
Yeah, no question about it. Just a reminder, we'll be back here on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock when Wagner comes to town. We'll have that ball game for you. But for now, Lafayette goes down to defeat 69-62. For Abby DePaula, John Leone, I'm Gary Laubach. Thanks for spending time with us. Good night, everybody.